Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today it's all about what plants should you be adding into your garden right now in the middle of summer so you can have the most gorgeous, delicious, delectable crop coming this fall. And I've got a secret weapon that you're going to want to know about. It is fabulous, and it's for every country. Can I use this tool? And you'll see why in just a minute. Well, it's always my joy and honor to serve you God's recipe for excellent health. And yes, that includes gardening, and gardening good. Well, today I'm actually filming this part of the video at our church garden. It is a beautiful garden. They've done an excellent job. It's their first year of putting this in. As you can see, the church is just right over there. And they've even got some cherry tomatoes over there that I am just going to have to pick before I leave here. So just a fabulous crop of what they have growing. Beautiful onions. They've got some parsley. They've got just a lot of good things happening. But right now it's July, and you may say, oh, they're probably getting tired of the garden. Maybe you're tired of your garden. But I want to tell you, the fall is my most favorite time to grow vegetables. Well, today we're going to cover my favorite 7 vegetables that you can plant right now and enjoy the harvest much longer than you actually can in the summertime. So as you can see here, they've got the zucchini and the squashes. They've got more bunches of it down there. Now here are 3 reasons why you should consider a fall planting in your garden. Now don't tell me you don't have enough ground or land to do a garden. If you can do a pot, you've got a garden. If you've got a windowsill, you've got a garden. Reason number 1, there are less pests. Yes, there you can see that this garden is protected by an electric fence. You're still going to have deer, but you can always protect against that. But you will have less pests on your plants. You won't have the squash bugs. You won't have a lot of the other bugs if you plant for a fall crop. For me, it's always been my most productive crop ever is my fall planting. Number 2 is you get a higher yield. You don't have these really hot days that actually kind of stymie the growth of the plants. They're kind of tired, exhausted because of the heat, so you get better growth. And number 3 is the seeds are already going to be able to start in warm soil, so they germinate very quickly, versus in the spring we're hoping that the soil warms up to warm up the seed. So those are 3 reasons. I'll throw in a bonus, number 4, the nutritional value to keep more crops coming in to your kitchen for you to enjoy. That would be a 4th. Now let me share with you my secret tip that you want to learn today. Now, for my top 7, the top 7 need to be, what does your family like? You can see a lot of different things growing here in the garden, but let me show you my planter. So I have this, and I'm going to give you a link to it down below. This is called Clyde's Garden Planter. So what we do, this side is for spring planting because it has a line right here, average last spring frost. Flip it over, and we have average first fall frost. So what I do, I looked it up online. Here in Virginia, my first fall frost is going to fall right around October, right around there. So by moving it there, this line over here, I then get to look at all of the vegetables that I can plant, and what LP is my last planting. So as you can see, I'm here in the middle of July, so everything from here on down can be planted in July. So look, I can still plant corn. Most people would not even think about that. Cabbage, cucumbers, okra, pumpkins, squash, carrots. Look at all of these vegetables that I can plant at this time of year. Cauliflower, chard, broccoli, green beans, everything. And it even, I'm surprised, actually onion sets can still be planted if you're doing the green onions. So green onions, which is called bunch onions, you can still do those. Tomatoes, we're right on the borderline of our last planting of those. But yes, we can still do peppers, and you can still do melons. Definitely you want to consider that. Over here on this chart, it gives you the expected dates for harvesting. So look, they're running all the way even over our last fall frost. So any of these you can plant right now all the way into, you can even plant these, your spinach, all the way up till the first week in September and enjoy a harvest all the way into November. Now, depending if you have a light winter, you may be able to enjoy those spinach all year long. I've done that with kale and spinach and enjoyed it all winter long. I just kept a plastic coating over it just to keep it warm at night. So terrific to be able to cut your own vegetables. So my top 7 recommendations for you to plant is, what are the top 7 vegetables that you love? For me, I just went ahead and planted some melons. I planted some spinach because I wanted to come in right around as it starts cooling off. And my other vegetables that I'm planting right now is, I'm still adding in pumpkins. I know it seems too late to be doing that, but it's not. And I'm adding green beans because my green bean plants that I had earlier in the season, they pretty much have exhausted themselves. They are totally done. They've even said that by bowing down to the ground. So yeah, so just think about, my other favorite is peas. I love to just go out in the garden and just pick peas and eat them fresh out of the garden. They do not need to be cooked or anything. They are so good. In fact, I always say I love to go out to eat for my meals. And what I mean by that is not a restaurant, but I like to go in my backyard and just eat right out of the garden. Tomatoes, peas, carrots, all of that. And you can still plant it today. So those are my ideas. So it's spinach, it's peas, it's carrots, melons, we can still do melons, my pumpkins, I can still do beets. Definitely I can do beets right now. I can do broccoli, and my other favorite is the green beans. There's so much more. Go ahead and check the link down below so you get Clyde's garden planner. It's timeless. You can use it forever. You can use it even if you move. You just change the time zone. You just slide this to match the time zone of your last frost, and you've got spring and you've got fall. So use the link down below. I don't have any coupon codes for you. It doesn't cost very much, but I really want you to get it. It's from my very favorite seed store called rareseeds.com. So check that out, and it's in the Ozarks of Missouri. If you ever went in that area, you should just drive by and visit the place. It is so fun to visit, and they've got a restaurant. And you'll just be blown away by how big their vegetables are. I don't know how they do it. Would love to know. All right, well now I'm going to take you to my garden and show you how I'm going to change one of my beds into a fall harvesting bed. Now this bed over here was nothing but weeds until I decided to share with you this garden bed. I decided I better weed it out. So what you see over here looks really nice and weeded out. You can see I've got some other containers here, but that's going to be my fall garden, and then I'm going to put some of my spinach back in here. Kind of get rid of some of these tomatoes. They're my volunteer tomatoes. They do fairly well, but they just kind of take over. So that's going to be my garden bed that I'm going to enhance. So now that I've got this extra compost, I'm going to put that in with my dirt, and I'm going to add some Osmocote because it's a slow release and it does really well for plants, especially new starters. So this is where I'm going to build my fall garden bed. I should have this compost in here in just a little bit, and then I can set my seeds and I'm good. I'm adding the compost to this bed just because it hasn't been producing as well as I like it to. It's just not putting out the yield that I need. So I brought in some of this compost, and then I'm going to be using the Osmocote, which is a slow release fertilizer. When I worked at one of the nurseries, it was Edible Landscape. That's what they use with all their plants, and they grow everything organically. And so they get a much higher yield out of their beds and out of the trees that they're growing. So I'm going to do that as well. And so just need to enhance it. Many times we need to enhance our relationship with the Lord by just feeding more time into it with prayer and Bible study and just meditating on His Word and singing our worship songs. We too need to be constantly tending our garden, which is our relationship with God. I hope and pray that you take into consideration doing a fall garden. I can't wait to see your comments. What did you grow? What did you decide? And then as fall comes in to our season, how well is your garden producing? Remember, it only takes a windowsill to have a garden, and you are a gardener. So tell me what you're doing to amend your soil, how you're nourishing the plants, and how well your garden's doing. Please just think about doing a fall garden. It is so worth it. My favorite time of the year for a garden. Thanks for watching and letting me share with you God's recipe for excellent health. Always includes the #1 ingredient, how much God loves you. And in this soil is representation of how He He has all of these plants to grow, and he has a relationship with you that he wants you to grow with him as well. Thanks for watching.